Buddy, Junior 2000 here, coming at you with a movie review of one of my all-time favorite horror sequels of all time. And thanks for this movie being the first R-rated horror movie to see on VHS in my own personal eyes. Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. This movie is a badass horror movie sequel, up there with Freddy Revenge, Child's Play 3, and the Letterface Chainsaw Massacre 3. Those are underrated badass sequels. This movie kicks ass. Even the 4K transfer looks great on 4K. I still have the DVD because I'm nostalgic about Arrow Anchor based DVD. The movie still kicks ass at being one of the most badass horror movie sequels. I like the cast are great. Seeing Donald Pleasence coming back as Samuel Loomis is badass. I thought Ellie Cornell was great as Rachel. She's one of the best final girls in my opinion. And Danelle Harris was great as Jamie Lloyd, Laurie Strode's daughter. All in all, I really enjoy this film. Even Michael Myers actor Georgie Pugh Wilbur was pretty good in the film as Michael Myers. And yeah, there's nothing bad about this film. I really enjoy this movie. I know a lot of people shut on the mask. I have no problem with the mask. It's just like it's not the best, but it's easily to me. I don't really find it to be a piece of shit mask at all. To me, it's not that bad. It's a lot better than Part 5 mask for sure, because that mask sucks. Like the Part 5 mask sucks. But all in all, this movie is a great film. Starts up in 1988, October 30th. Opens up with a creepy, eerie opening music done by Alan Howard, who does this. He's doing the soundtrack solo without Carpenter, because Carpenter didn't want to come back doing the soundtracks for Halloween films. So Alan Howard just did the soundtracks instead. He did this one for Halloween 4, the soundtrack, and the soundtrack is pretty good. I enjoyed the music, but he starts out with the eerie ghost music that's like humming and just sounds so eerie. And then the opening credit shows you all this October settings of all the stuff that's October, because the movie does scream October with the house decorations, the Halloween settings of the pumpkin, a ghost bald head is floating in the tying up on the tree, a jack o' lantern scarecrow statue on a tractor trailer, an abandoned barn, garden shears or scythes or something, but they look like Freddy Krueger's knives, and in a silhouette of a witch. And then you get this transportation of Michael Myers getting transported from this facility, because it does conclude from the second film that he's all burned up and bandaged and taken care of for 10 years and recovering in a coma. And then they take him out and you have the badass Halloween 4 theme song, and they tell him they're talking to each other, the two doctors, ambulance. They're saying, oh, he has a niece in his hometown. And he does a quick fist and grabs the dude and bashes his head on the side of the van, blooding it up and puncturing his thumb into his head and doing a big impact. It shows you that the devil is coming back, the shape. And Michael Myers is back. He has his presence shown. And one leads to another. He's back in Haddonfield. And the what's it called? Jamie, played by Danelle Harris, is Laurie Strode's daughter. And in storyline, Laurie Strode died from a car accident. And so she lives with the Struthers family. And she has a good bond relationship with her foster sister, Rachel, played by Ellie Cornell. And their dialogue exchange to each other is really good, because you buy them as sister and sisters, even though they're stepsisters. And then she goes to bed, and then has a nightmare about Michael Myers grabbing her in the ankle and trying to take her under the bed. But Michael sits up like the Undertaker and looks at Jamie and holding the knife and about to stab her, but until it's just her subconscious of having a nightmare. Her foster mom comforts her, hugs her, tells her it's okay, everything's gonna be okay. Next morning, the dad has a funny gag where his tie falls into a coffee mug and he gets ruined. So that's a pretty funny part. Rachel is considered to babysit Jamie because the babysitter got injured, so they can't babysit Jamie. She's upset about it because she wanted to go out with Brady and stuff. And then Jamie and Rachel talk about it. And then you get the return of Dr. Loomis, played by, again, Donald Sutherland. Not Donald Pleasence, my mistake. I almost said Sutherland by accident, but Donald Pleasence returning as Samuel Loomis, Dr. Sam Loomis. Going into Hoffman's office, the guy who accepted Michael Myers to be transported without Loomis's permission. And he gets pissed off. He's like, "You let them take it out of here, Hoffman. You're not talking about any human, Hoffman. We're talking about evil on two legs." Yeah, that was a really good scene with Loomis just being pissed off at Hoffman. Hoffman gets a call about the ambulance crashing nearby a bridge. They go to the crash site. Loomis says, "How many people in the bus?" And of course, it's a reference to the original script. There was originally supposed to be a bus, but they changed it to an ambulance. But they see the crash site. Hoffman keeps telling them, "Loomis, it's over, leave it alone." And of course, Loomis doesn't give a shit about Hoffman because he's pissed at him for letting Michael out. Loomis goes through the dirty ass river water to go on the other side of the ambulance that's all bloodied up on the side. Then goes inside the ambulance where it's open and you see all these blood stains all over. It's like a huge mess. Originally, we were supposed to see blood and body parts all over, but it got cut by the MPA. But he sees all these disembodied men. He knows Michael was responsible for it, and he's still out there. He's gone out this. Now he's just escaped. You're talking about he's a human being. That part of him died years ago. He goes to a gas station, and Michael Myers is there, all bloodied up with a bandage mask. That looks creepy. It looks like he's the devil in that bandage mask. Really cool mask. Definitely an underrated Michael Myers mask that I wish Trick or Treat Studios would make one day. A bandage mask. But he sees a mechanic with a. He holds a big spear and stabs it in the mechanic's throat, and it steals his outfit, the overalls. And Loomis is there trying to get gas. He sees a dead mechanic being hung by the back of the chain of the mechanic truck, and he goes to the diner yelling for anybody that's in there. He sees a dead waitress that's there laying dead. All the phones are cut off, so he can't contact anybody until he sees Michael Myers in the kitchen, and he has that great badass scene. You waited 10 years. I hope this day would come. Don't go to Haddonfield. You want another victim? Take me. But leave those people in pieces. Please, Michael. Gosh damn you. Get the Halloween 4 theme song. Do 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 do. Then Loomis goes outside and yells, "Michael!" And then Michael crashes the mechanic truck through the garage door, causes a big explosion by the gas tank, and causes Loomis' car to fly in the air, exploding. And Loomis does a big stage dive between trash cans, and it's a big practical explosion scene. Great badass scene from a Halloween franchise. Jamie gets a dealing with a bunch of jackass bully kids, and she sucks it up, not crying in front of Rachel. And then she wants to go trick or treating, so she gets a costume at this drugstore that Brady's working. And then he has his friend Wade that he's making fun of. "Oh, you're not gonna hook up with Bimbo Kelly." And of course, he tries to ask her out, but she tells "fuck off" to Wade. And I feel bad for Wade, but you know what, Wade? Don't feel bad. Screw Kimbo Kelly. She'll get her comeuppance by Mikey Myers. And of course, you get the imply that Michael was there because the mechanic truck is there when Rachel and Jamie arrives. He's in Haddonfield now. And Jamie goes and gets her costume, and she gets freaked out when she sees young Michael Myers all bloodied up with the costume of the clown. And there is a moment where Michael grabs his mask, puts it on, and Jamie starts screaming and freaks her out, crashing into a mirror. Rachel comforts her and they leave, and then Loomis has a badass scene with this Reverend guy that he hits a ride with, talking about Dalmatian, apocalypse, end of the world, apocalypse, end of the world. I've been hunting the bastard for 30 years, Tib and take. Give it timer is too damn close. You can't kill Dalmatian, mister. It's like connection towards Loomis trying to find evil and after Michael Myers. So it's a good connection. I like that scene. And then Loomis makes it back to Haddonfield. Rachel and Jamie are off trick or treating. Michael Myers is stalking around the house, looking through Jamie's photos of Rachel. Of Rachel's. No, I think it was Rachel or Jamie's room that had the photos where Jamie has all these. It's like these photos that Jamie kept in a shoebox, where it's like her mother and her dad, and I believe her dad is Jimmy from Part Two. That does make sense because he does survive in the ending of Part Two's TV cut. But I felt like they should have fit that ending because that was cool for that character to survive. But the movie goes on where Michael's still stalking around Haddonfield. Loomis is trying to go to Sheriff Meeker, telling him, Sheriff, that's what I've seen. Between here and Richmond, a building flaming station in flames. I tell you, Michael Myers is here in this town. He's here to kill that little girl and then anybody who gets in his way. It's true, Sheriff. Great badass acting by Donald Pleasence. Rest in peace, that legendary actor. Donald Pleasence is a badass as Loomis in this film. He's rocking it in the performance. I really like Dr. Loomis character. I like the Dr. Loomis character played by Donald Pleasence. So Meeker starts believing him. They go to the Struthers' house. They see that the house is open and they see that dog is dead and pictures all over around. And Jamie and Rachel are trick or treating, and she catches Brady in the act of sleeping with Bimbo Kelly, and they have that stupid argument. And then she goes and looks for Jamie. Michael Myers kills this character named Bucky. He was like an electrician. He throws him in these big volt lightning power lines that are just exploding Bucky's dead body, electrocuting him to death and causing all the powers in Haddonfield to be turned off. And Rachel encounters Michael Myers in an alley trying to find Jamie, and she does the smartest thing for a final girl where she's not stupid, trying to call Michael Myers, hey mister, can you help me? No, she doesn't do that. She notices Michael Myers is walking towards her slowly, and she's like, not cursing out, not like saying fuck this, but she's like, boom, she just runs it, jumps over the fence, gets to another fence and jumps it over. She gets the hell out of there. No time to question, no turning around, just getting the hell out of there. Like, that was a great decision that Rachel did. Not doing a stupid ass decision by trying to go towards him and calling him out. Like, that was a great decision. And even Alan B. McElroy did this. He talked about that was like the reason why I did not want her to be stupid like that. He wanted her to be smart, not just randomly talking to Michael Myers, trying to ask him for help or anything. So yeah, she did the smart final girl decision, and that was a badass moment. She reunites with Jamie, and then they get picked up by Sheriff Meeker and Loomis, and then the sheriff department is all attacked. All the sheriff's people have been attacked and killed by Michael Myers with their limbs by being torn apart with their arms and legs. And you get the mob of Errol, the beer buddy. And you imply that one of his sons was killed by Michael Myers and you don't know who his son is. It's either Bud or Bob. I would say a good guess that it is Bob was his son that got killed. He's like, I'm gonna frag his ass. what he did 10 years ago. How many killed back then? Earl lost his spoiler 10 years ago. Not this time, Ben. We're going to frag his ass. And yeah, they do try to frag his ass, but they accidentally killed the wrong dude who I guess was taking a piss or something that was behind the bush. They think it was Myers, but it turns out it was this dude named Ted Hollister. And then Minker and Loomis takes Jamie and Rachel to to his house to be safe. Of course, Bimbo, Kelly, and Brady are there. They're fucking around before Meeker finally shows up through the driveway, and they have to like act like they didn't do anything, but he knows what they were doing. He even talks to Brady. He calls Brady out of it, but he is having them being stay there to be safe, but they don't realize that Michael's there because he followed with this other cop that was there at the Struthers house. He sneaked behind the cop's car and he's in the back seat, so he got there. Now he's in the house. They don't realize it until one of the cops is killed after Meeker leaves and Loomis leaves. One of the cops is killed and his head is turned twice. Like, you know, like how they found Bert Denny's dead body with his head completely turned around. They found the cop like that where Bimbo Kelly's like trying to give him coffee or something until she turns on the candle and then boom, you get the Halloween music and it's Michael Myers on the rocking chair with a shotgun. She sees the dead body of the cop and then she comes towards the Bimbo Kelly and grabs the shotgun and stabs her in the stomach and floats her up into the air and stabbing her through the wall. Kind of like doing Michael Myers' violent version of Bob's death, but with a shotgun. Very brutal kill. And of course, Rachel noticed this, is scared, and she tries to find Jamie. She's gone, and Brady finds her, tries to get out of there, but she sees Jamie and reunites with Jamie, and Brady is like a cocky jackass character. Even though he's a jackass and he cheated on Rachel, he kind of deserves it for being killed, like for being a jackass character. And he's so cocky too. Like he's trying to beat the shit out of Michael Myers with the gun, and Michael Myers just headbutt him with the gun, and Brady's just wasting time putting the stupid bullets in, and he tries to like punch him instead of like, dude, okay, he headbutt you with the gun, and he made your nose bleed. Why didn't you just go with Rachel and Jamie? Get the hell out of there. No, he tries to punch him, and then Michael just grabs him in the head, picks him up, and squeezes his thumb in the face, to the cheek, and he just goes, ah! Big crunchy noise punctures into his cheek, like he squashed his cheek. And that was such a vicious, brutal kill. And you know what? Fuck Brady. He kind of deserved it for cheating on Rachel. And he was kind of a cocky jackass character in that point. Like, come on, you could have just ran with Jamie and Rachel up to this attic. What a jackass character. And of course, Raimi and Rachel are dealing with Michael Myers trying to go upstairs. They get up to the attic. Michael finds his butcher knife. They go up to the stunt of the attic, top of the roof, and they have a bit of a tussle with Rachel and Michael. And Jamie gets down safely, and Rachel falls down. She looks like she might have gotten killed, and Jamie runs for her life out of there. Michael Myers is still stalking her until Loomis finds her and takes her to the school, but Michael is there and he throws Loomis out of the window, and Jamie's all by herself until Rachel's there to save her using a fire extinguisher to blast Michael in the face, and then she's getting out with Jamie outside of school, meeting up with Earl and his beer buddies, and they get out of there trying to get to safety until Michael Myers is hitching a ride under. He does a Max Cady where he's under the truck. He gets on back seat of the truck, stabs a few of Earl's buddies in the gut brutally, and tossing one of them out on their back. And breaking his hand through the glass, ripping Earl's throat with his blood coming out of his throat. Brutal, vicious, gory kill where the throat is just ripped and a bunch of blood coming out. And of course, Rachel has to take the wheel because Earl's already dead, so he tosses his dead body out, and she's driving the truck trying to get into like gear until she has to deal with Michael Myers, who's on the roof trying to grab her, trying to tear her shirt up, trying to like strangle her. And you have the badass Halloween music going on, Halloween 4's theme song, do 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 do. Really tenseful and suspenseful scene, and then Michael bashes his head into the windshield of the car, gets tossed over. The badass scene where Rachel hits Michael with the car and he falls down on a cemetery area by a mine shaft, and then Jamie kind of has her connection with Michael and she kind of gets possessed by him, where she touches his hand and because she feels emotion about him, and boom, she touches his hand, she lets go, and then Michael grabs his knife to get up, and he gets shot by Sheriff Minker and everybody from Earl's other mob. They're like more of Earl's mob members. They're shooting Michael Myers with big shotguns and butter guns, but Sheriff Minker has this big ass shotgun. He's like, poo, 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 poo. Really badass gun that Sheriff Minker has. And of course, Michael Myers gets a bunch of bullets into himself and falls into a deep mine shaft that takes him down to hell. And that's when Michael Myers is already finally gone. Then Loomis is at the Struthers' house, having that line, Michael Myers is gone, buried in hell, where he belongs. No, wait, it's Michael Myers is in hell, buried where he belongs. These kids will survive its memory. They will survive its ordeal. And then the stepmom takes Jamie upstairs to clean her up until you see a POV of a mass shot, and you think it's, oh shit, did Michael Myers just came back and he snuck back of the house. And then you see the POV, and then the stepmom looks at the person. She screams, and Loomis goes upstairs wondering what the heck is this, and he sees Jamie all bloodied up with the knife, scissors in her hand, all bloodied up, and she just killed her stepmom, and she has the evil in her wearing the clown mask, and Loomis is like, no, 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 and he's like taking his gun, he's like about to shoot her until Minker stops Loomis from doing that, and he is shocked from seeing what he sees, Jamie as a killer. Same with Rachel's dad and Rachel herself. They're all shocked, and Loomis is like crying and said, no, no, like, because the evil still is still around. She has the presence of Michael Myers evil. And yeah, that was a shocking ending. Definitely one of the best endings to the franchise. That should have never been fucked over. They fucked it up in part 5, but like they should have never done a movie sequel after part 4. They should have just left that as a cliffhanger, because that was one of the most badass endings to the Halloween franchise. Definitely one of the best endings, hands down. And I really enjoyed the movie. I really find Halloween 4 to be one of the most badass horror movie sequels of all time that still kicks ass and takes no names. Just nothing bad about this film. I grew up with this film being one of the first rated horror films. Great cast, great final girl, great Dr. Loomis, good movie screenplay by Alan B. McElroy, and great directing by Dwight H. Little. And this movie still kicks ass, and it's easily my personal favorite in the franchise. Definitely my number one favorite Halloween film that ever came out. Really love this movie in a passion. Have a good day, everybody. Take care.